Kids are in bed?
Kids are in bed.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 17 of The Kids Are in Bed. I'm Tim Severson, and this is Jenni Severson. Jenni, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good as well.
What's funny?
You are.
Oh.
You're adorable.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. How are you? For real?
For real, for real?
For real, for real.
No, I'm good.
Good.
Long weekend. Takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, well, you got a little ahead of your skis by agreeing to let the kids move their bedrooms.
I did.
And I said that I was willing, but not on a holiday weekend. But somehow you lost out on that and ended up doing a lot of work.
So much work.
So much work.
My legs were so tired.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. Pushing around the furniture is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of items they've accumulated in their short lives is a lot more just sorting and organizing shit.
I think we've accumulated most of those items.
Oh, have we? I was doing a demo today, and the sales guy, it's my second call with him. He's like, in his like mid-20s, and he was like, oh, so like, how was your weekend? What'd you do? And I was like, yeah, it was nice. How about you? And he's like, oh, it was great. I went to the beach. And he's in Delaware. Oh. And he's like, I went to the beach. Are you familiar with the Delaware beaches? And, I know just a tiny little bit because your sister. But he was just going on and on. So then, like, once I engaged, he was, like, in it and, like, telling me all these amazing times he had at the beach.
Where was he? Ocean City? Dewey Beach?
Dewey.
Yeah.
And then he was like, got done with his whole spiel. And he's like, so what did you do? And I was just like, I don't want to say. Yeah, right.
One of us had a weekend worth talking about, and the other one didn't. Let's just leave it at that.
I was so embarrassed. I helped my kids change bedrooms, cleaned out closets. So embarrassing.
Yeah, that was a scene. You did a lot.
It's a lot.
It's times like this, though, where you tip your hand and I find out what you're really capable of physically, meaning you're capable of a lot, but you always claim to be so frail and weak, yet I didn't move a single piece of furniture.
Jude helped me a little.
Yeah.
That kid's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. I didn't help you move a single dresser, bed. You did it all on your own. Look at you go.
Yeah.
You don't even need me, see?
I'm sore. Next time you can do it. Clementine also graduated preschool.
She did graduate preschool.
That was fun. I had the funniest interaction with Jude over Clementine's preschool graduation because he didn't have a preschool graduation. Yeah. Which, like, he's always comparing, like, oh, well, when I was at your school, this is what we did. Yeah. And we were in the car on the way home, and he's like, I don't remember doing this. What's she doing? Like, he was so confused. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you didn't have one because it was during COVID. And I guess we haven't talked about COVID a lot in front of Clementine. She just goes, what's COVID? Like, she didn't even know what it meant, which completely surprised me. I was shocked. And Jude just goes, oh, it was a nightmare.
Yeah. What an awful time he had.
He goes, we couldn't leave the house. We couldn't go see our friends. It was so funny that she had no idea.
I think it's so funny that he describes it as awful.
Yeah, that's true. He had things pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of time right in this living room, we set up that tent that blows up with the box fan. Yeah. And I worked on a card table right next to it. Yeah. Which...
He didn't have it too rough.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, that makes it sound like it must have been really rough for me, but who gives a fuck about my job? Yeah. I did not care at all. Yeah. Oh, man.
We went rooftop mini golfing.
We did go.
That was
we
fun.
Went to the Walker. We went to the sculpture garden.
Mm-hmm. Haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, and then we went to Brits, and we played lawn bowling, which was super fun.
That actually was pretty fun.
Yeah. Jude was a natural.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah. It's not for little kids.
No, they just wanted to run around.
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
Can do them.
Yeah.
It was Brits and the bootleggers.
Yeah.
That caused me to agree to the bedroom situation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I forgot that was the secret sauce. Once the kids realize that you are a yes machine after a couple of cocktails, you are in some serious trouble. I'm going to have to start running interference.
Yeah.
The problem is you get aggressive. I try to lay low when you've had a couple of bootleggers.
I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was good. I'm actually glad we did it. Number one, the kids are happy. Number two, it's only Tuesday and the garbage is already full.
Yeah.
Because I got rid of so much junk. So it was a success.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Yeah, they're excited. Jude tonight was asking about patching up the holes. He's like, "Can you patch the holes in Clementine's room?" And I'm like, "Why do you care what's going on in Clementine's room?" He goes, "Clementine's old room." And I'm like, "You mean your room that we are in right now? Do you want me to patch the holes?"
Yeah. I totally told him you would. The people that lived here before us
anchored everything.
Every single thing.
With the biggest, the most obnoxiously sized screws anybody has ever seen.
Now, the first go around, I was just like, well, we have no option but to hang things over these holes.
Yeah, they anchored stuff into the walls with the same bolts that built the Titanic. Like, absolutely. I don't understand.
They're very scared of things falling off the wall, I guess.
Yes. And then and I wish we could talk to them and be like, "Hey, guys, if a dresser falls on your kid, it's really not that bad."
It might even happen twice.
Might happen.
It might happen twice. And the kid might still be fine. Notice how the same dresser fell on one kid 2 times.
Yes.
Might have more to do with the kid than the dresser.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Just saying.
I forgot that it happened twice.
It did happen twice. The second time I did actually panic. Like, oh shit.
The second time was a bad one.
Yeah.
He got lucky.
Yeah.
It landed on the bed before it landed on the back of his legs.
Oh my God. He's a
piece of shit. Oh.
No, but seriously, literally covered up giant holes with artwork.
Yeah.
But now we set up the rooms around the holes basically. Because, when you set up wherever the furniture is, that's where the art has to go.
Right.
And so I went in with a whole new outlook and I was moving stuff all around. And then we got all the furniture where it was supposed to go. And then it's time to hang the photos.
Yeah.
And Jude is like, "Can you cover that hole?" And I was like, "I wish I could, but it'll be completely off-centered to your headboard."
Yeah.
And so he was I definitely told him that you would patch him. I'm like, "Oh, don't worry. Daddy can patch that." Sorry.
That's all right.
That's all right.
You don't get to say that's all right. That's not how it works.
It is all right.
Yeah, $300. It's all right. Dust yourself off. You'll make it through. You'll make it through.
I think that brings us up to today. Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
So excited. It is officially Taco Tuesday summer.
This is the
summer of Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. I made carne asada for the first time.
You crushed it.
It did. It turned out pretty good.
Yeah. It was good. I preferred the margarita.
Yes.
Just kidding. The food was delicious. The margarita was delightful.
Margarita was good. There's a lot of alcohol in it, but it was good.
I didn't notice.
You don't say. All right, should we transition to our topic this week? This week, we are talking about the year
2003.
2003, yes. 2003. And I will leave it to you. What would you like to discuss first?
Oh my goodness.
Movies? Music? Pop culture and current events.
I don't want to talk about current events. You can just skip that altogether.
Pop culture. Then I guess we're just doing movies and music and memories.
Yeah.
Because Turns out, as I looked into pop culture, especially as it pertains to fashion, things didn't change much.
No, I believe it.
Same.
I was going to say, last time when you brought up the layering tank tops and the trucker hats and the velour, I'm pretty sure that's like the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So I choose movies for 100, please.
Movies for 100. This movie.
Oh. Okay. I'm
trying to think I'm
into this. I'm into it. Let's do it. It's hard to pose a question in the form of an answer.
Yeah, it's hard to give the answer. Samwise and Frodo.
Heard of them?
Travel with their rascally friend to destroy a ring.
What is The Lord of the Ring, The Two Towers?
I'm sorry. The answer was Love Actually.
And it's not. It's The Return of the King. I messed it up. That's right. I totally messed it up. Damn it.
In the whole $100. No,
shoot.
This was, as we talked about last week, 3 in a row.
Boom, boom, boom.
And
just pushing them out.
As I was looking at it for box office numbers, oddly enough, end of the year. Oh, this is a neat bit of trivia.
All right.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Return of the King.
Yep, Return of the King.
Was not number 1 in the box office.
Interesting. What was?
It was an animated movie. It was a Pixar movie. Care to guess?
A Pixar movie?
A Pixar movie from 2003. And that won the box office that year.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Toy Story movie?
Mm-mm.
No?
Oh. What else brought Pixar to the center stage?
Can I have a hint? Disney.
One
Pixar,
character
character
has a small flipper.
That's the best you could come up with without giving it away. This movie is called Finding Nemo. Like, what?
That's right.
Has anybody seen my son?
Your son Chico?
No, it's Nemo. We're looking for Nemo.
Finding Nemo won the box office that year.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's really wild. I mean, it's just delightful.
Right.
But
yeah,
over The Return of the King?
Yeah, which only beat out The Two Towers by like 12 spots. Two Towers was still in the top 20 box office at the end of the year in 2003.
What? Did this man sleep?
Peter Jackson was just printing money.
Busy.
Yeah, he did well. He did well that year. But yeah, Return of the King. Honestly, I think that is. I don't think it's a bad movie. Let's be clear. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think it's my least favorite of the 3 movies.
The problem is in the ending. The ending goes on for...
The ending is an hour.
It ends felt like the movie was over.
Yeah.
And then it felt like the movie was over again.
Yeah.
And then by like the 4th time that you thought the movie was over,
yeah.
you're like, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had to say goodbye to everybody individually. And it's like, okay.
It was too much.
Yeah.
That's probably why you didn't prefer it. It's closing out a trilogy, not a movie.
Yeah.
And so it was too long for one movie.
And I know that nerds won't like this, but I think my biggest problem with the movie is the way Frodo is saved by a giant eagle, and it's like we could have saved a whole lot of time.
Oh shit.
Just airdrop that ring right in there and we're all done.
Oh my god, that's so true. That's so frustrating.
It's the thing I thought of the first time I saw that scene. I was like, well, hold on a second.
Why didn't we do this from the beginning? It's like, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
I feel that way about Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
That also came out this year.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I am.
That's weird. I really didn't know that.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. The entire movie is about like these two pieces of, I don't remember, rings or not rings probably because that's Lord of the, but some sort of,
Yeah. Artifact,
but the two pieces can't get together. And if the two pieces get together, like the world will, implode.
Sure.
And she has one of the pieces.
Who has the other one?
Who cares? Why doesn't she just get rid of it and the movie's over? She spends the whole movie trying not to let the two things get together by bringing the two things together. It's like she could have just said, oh, these two things should never be reunited. I'm going to attack it with a hammer.
Yeah.
And then the movie doesn't even need to exist.
I think it's funny that we have these discussions a lot about movies where we're both like very keyed into something so obvious, yet we love sitcoms where the entire premise of every sitcom could be easily overcame by one person having an honest conversation with the person that they have the issue with.
That's true.
The only thing that makes sitcom drama happen is that two people refuse to talk to each other about the one thing.
Yeah, but that's like relatable. How many times have you been picked up by an eagle?
Like 3.
Yeah.
Max.
On a sitcom, you can like relate to it. And so you're like, that's funny. Ha ha ha. That happened to me too. This is hilarious.
This is how we laugh when we watch sitcoms. Ha ha ha.
Ha 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 ha.
This is humorous.
I feel like that was an impersonation of somebody we know.
I'll never tell. I'll never tell. Let's see. What else do we have on the movie list? We had How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Stop.
If you were going to try to, let's say it's me, get me to guess the movie, but you could only quote one line from the movie, and that, let's call that movie How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh gosh, I didn't know I was gonna.
Can I tell you mine?
Well, so I don't have to do it at all?
Well, you see, sometimes when you get very distraught about a very simple question, I think I should probably just take over.
I just don't want to mess it up. Give me just a second. Hold on. Give me a second. You can go first. My mind is racing. I can't focus my thoughts on one scene. There's too many things.
So this one, you have to say it right. Bullshit. No good?
That's good.
Would you get it?
That's good.
Would you get it?
Oh, yeah. I totally would get it.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. I would have. Yeah. I totally would have got it. I was thinking more about when she's going really like full on crazy in his apartment. Something with the plants or the love fern.
Love fern?
You let it die.
Yes.
That's what I would have gone with.
Our love fern! It's dead.
No, honey, it's just sleeping.
You let it die. You gonna let us die?
Mm-hmm. Or oh no, this is my favorite one. Ready? When she goes, yucky yucky pizza, yucky yucky pizza.
What's so?
That makes me die every time. Yucky yucky pizza.
The company, any dog, please.
Oh, Tony. Yucky yucky pizza. Yucky pizza.
Oh no.
Yummy yummy cucumber sandwich.
Oh.
She like takes something out of one of their hands and like, I don't know, hands them a vegetable or something.
Is that when she brings the dog in and she calls it the Tinkle King after?
Oh my god.
And his buddies are like, yeah, it's the Tinkle
On
King.
the pool table. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
The yellow dress.
Yeah.
Oh, the shower scene.
Oh, getting dirty on the motorcycle.
It's not dirty at all. It's love.
No. They get dirty on the motorcycle.
I thought you were talking about the sex in the shower.
They don't show us the sex in the shower. How could I know?
You're talking about they're actually getting dirty.
Yes. That's why they need the shower.
Yes, that is why they need to shower to be clean.
Yes. Take it out of the gutter.
Yeah.
This is a family program, I think. Or I don't know.
Song I love that.
Does it feels like home? Is that?
It is.
Yeah.
Is it feels like home? Like you don't know it by heart.
Yeah. Yeah, we've watched that movie a ton.
Seen it a couple times.
Seen it a couple of times. Another one that came out this year that we watch only a certain time of year, but every year.
I do know this because you did the Jeopardy joke already. So it's Love Actually.
I'm sorry.
What?
The correct answer is Elf, starring Will Ferrell and Zooey Deschanel.
Son of a nutcracker!
No! I thought you forgot.
Fell into my trap, you moron.
Yes.
No, but both of those came out.
Elf, delightful. Also, what is it with shower scenes in 2003? The shower scene when they're singing, when she's singing. Love that. So cute.
Zooey Deschanel, yes.
Yeah.
Blonde Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah.
But also, Love Actually came out. You love Love Actually?
Love Actually. I love Love Actually so much. When the little boy is running through the airport, I can't even handle it.
Yeah.
You can handle it. It doesn't hit you.
No,
Like
I think
it hits me.
I think that movie. No, I will watch it. I find it entertaining, but that movie started a terrible trend of just like, oh, let's just get every big name actor we can and throw it at this god awful script of nonsense.
Yeah, it did start a bad trend. Love Actually is a good movie, though. I mean, actually, it does have some problematic.
It's not a good movie. Now,
it didn't age very well.
There are good stories within the movie, but there are far too many.
No.
Yes.
That's what's fun.
No. See, it's not fun.
It's fun for one. I understand your disdain for the trend it launched.
No.
But for one movie, it's fun. Not as a formula. It's not.
Colin
fun.
Firth's story. Hate
Love it.
No.
Why?
Because.
Boo. Boo. Are you kidding me? When they're having the conversation with each other in different languages and they're asking and answering each other's questions and they don't even know because they're speaking a different language, but they're in love.
When they both say the water's cold in different languages. God, they're so in sync.
No. He says, oh, I hope there's no eels in here.
Don't go get it. It's shit. It's
And
probably shit anyways. I know.
and
We've
then
all
she said-
seen the movie.
Fuck, it's freezing. It's not worth it, you know, this isn't bloody Shakespeare. Just stop. I really must do copies. You know, there better not be eels in here. I can't stand eels. Oh, God, what the hell is that?
Okay.
And we understand. And then,
I like it.
And then he just shows up in her hometown and everybody's excited that this strange man who doesn't speak the language is there to take her away.
That's not so good. Yeah, that part's not so good. I will give you that.
The dad's like, are you sure you don't want the ugly one? Like, what is
not
happening?
Good. Not good. You're right. Not good.
See, I think you're thinking it's more problematic. I'm just saying the story is garbage. But the stories individually, I don't mind. It's the way that they're all just shoved together.
They're not just shoved together. They're very well thought out and planned.
No, and I hate the way that Laura Linney calls her brother darling. I hate it so much.
Well, you know, some people have normal relationships with their family and can give each other hugs.
What's that like? Sounds awful. Sounds absolutely awful.
I'm just picturing you giving anyone in your family a hug right now. It's so awkward.
I feel like me and my sister could throw down a hug. That wouldn't be awkward.
Next time, I'm going to make sure to whisper "darling" in both of your ears while you're hugging.
Oh. Oh, Jesus. That is awful.
You're welcome.
Ugh.
You're welcome.
I'm going to think about it. Gross. Let's see. Another movie that came out this year was Cold Mountain. We used to watch Cold Mountain as we fell asleep
too
a
much.
lot.
We watched it too much.
Well, the first hour, because it's a long movie.
So long.
The first hour really isn't that bad because it's just, Civil War time and it's the introduction of Renee Zellweger, who
crushes it. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's insane. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's pretty wild.
But it's just like she doesn't know how to farm and Renee Zellweger has to show her how and then he's at war and all that stuff's going on and it's just kind of it doesn't get really bad until about the midway point.
It gets bad in a hurry.
Oh, it
gets real bad in a hurry.
Yeah. It's a good movie though. I've never read the book because I watched the movie first, so I can't. But
I can't watch movies like that anymore. I used to be able to watch those. I can't do it anymore.
I think you can. You just choose not to. I think that's a better way to say it.
Well, I mean, yes, I could force my eyeballs open onto a television.
Well, I mean, you can just sit on a couch. They don't have to. Do you forget how to watch TV?
I'm just saying. Of course, anyone could. I'm just saying, mentally, I can't.
Ooh.
Mentally, physically, of course, I could. Mentally,
You're saying you've gotten older and you've lost a step. Is that what I'm hearing?
What?
Oh, I'm saying you got older and you may have lost a step.
Carry on.
School of Rock came out.
Love.
I remember this was really weird for me because I only knew Jack Black really because of Tenacious D.
Mm-hmm.
And
me and KG.
And so I remember when this came out, I don't think I saw it the year it came out. I think it was probably not until it came out on DVD. But I remember when I saw that it was happening, I was like, bummer. No more Tenacious D. That's all done.
Because he was in a kids movie?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how much new music they've released since then, but I love that movie. I was being really ridiculous, of course, because I was 18 and didn't know what I was talking about.
Delightful.
It is. It's very good.
Yeah.
Joan Cusack.
Wait, did Ned Schneebly,
Mm-hmm.
He wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he also wrote White Lotus.
He is a pretty good writer.
And
I enjoy his work.
Not bad at the old Amazing Race, if you'll recall.
I don't recall. I do remember watching him, but I don't remember. He was with his dad, right?
Yeah, I think he did it I feel like he did it twice, and the second time did better,
really?
maybe? I might be making that up, though.
Well, I really love the way Jack Black sings. And it's just really fun to impersonate. I'm not going to right now, but I am having an urge.
Do it.
I won't.
Do it.
I can't.
Come on.
I won't do it.
Please.
I won't.
Please.
I won't. But obviously, the Super Mario Brothers came out in the last year, and the Peaches song was quite the hit in the circles we run in.
I think it was a hit everywhere.
A lot of people singing the Peaches song.
Yeah.
But we saw them in concert not that long ago.
Last fall.
A couple years.
No. Actually, I think it was like a year ago, almost exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They were delightful. I thought they crushed it.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
Yeah, he's like 55, 60-ish, somewhere around there, I feel like.
Listen, he looked great.
He's got a big white beard.
He looked so good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun concert. And a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's not on my list?
You know you're not hardcore.
Unless you live hardcore.
No.
You know it's not on the list.
What?
But did come out in 2003. I am wondering if I can... Ellen Pompeo was in this film.
Juno.
That's a different
Hard
person.
Candy. Oh, that's Ellen Page.
Yeah.
Elliot Page. Shoot. Old school.
Nice.
Thanks. She's in like 4 movies.
I know. You didn't have to say that. People have been really impressed. Holy shit, she got Old School just by Ellen Pompeo.
She's literally in like 4 movies.
Yes, Old School came out in 2003.
We're going stricken!
Yeah, I can remember watching with my older brother, my oldest brother. One of his buddies was at my house. I think it was my grad party night. And we were watching that movie, and we rewound and rewatched the scene where Will Ferrell shoots himself in the neck with the dart.
Oh. That's the most powerful trank gun on the market. Huh. Got her in Mexico. Cool. Yeah, it is cool. They say it can puncture the skin of a rhino from a...
Ow! Oh! Yes! That's awesome! What? You just took one in the jugular, man! Whoa.
Like 1,000 times and laughed so hard. My dad was on the couch. And I can't remember I think maybe we just watched that scene and then like we went back to the basement. I can't remember. But I'm fairly certain that at some point my dad fell asleep. And I don't know if we walked in and he was already sleeping or if we left and he watched it and then fell asleep. But regardless, my dad was asleep. And the DVD I bought was the unrated version of Old School, which meant that the DVD menu was just basically a loop of the girls taking their shirts off before the KY fight.
Classy.
And
classy.
My dad's just asleep. These girls just keep getting naked on the screen. But that movie...
Did you turn it off? Or just leave it on?
I feel like we left it on, but I don't really... Like I said, it's a little hazy on exactly what the scenario was. But my dad was asleep while that was on. Probably the real story is that like he fell asleep. It was on. We walked in, saw what was happening, and shut off the TV. But that movie is so unbelievably good.
It's pretty funny. I haven't watched it in a long time.
It holds up. I mean, so well that I think for me, it's like Animal House level good because it is so funny and it's funny in the small parts. You know what I mean? Vince Vaughn's
little monologues are pretty funny.
Oh, God, they're so good. Yeah. Jeremy Piven as the dean.
Hate him. Hate him.
Cheese. Did we lock you in a dumpster, man? Yeah, I got out. Yep, that's a good movie. Couple of honorable mentions that we saw in the theater were Identity with John Cusack and Amanda Peet. That movie was...
Don't really remember it very well. I remember it was weird.
They get stuck in a rainstorm in the desert, and then people start dying.
I thought they were in like a hotel.
What did I say?
Desert?
Yeah. Well, the hotel is in the desert.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, got it. They're not, okay.
It's raining unexpectedly out of nowhere.
Okay.
They all get stuck, and then people start dying.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And the big reveal is at the end that none of them are real, that they were all fictional identities within a serial killer's brain.
Who's the serial killer?
You know who the guy is. I'm pretty sure he played Son of Sam.
Oh.
And something else. But he's kind of like the same looking guy.
He's like going through like treatment or something and trying to kill off his identities?
So they're trying to get a stay of execution. And they're trying to prove that he has multiple identities. And so they're trying to unearth all this.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
And so it's all going on in his head. And you're
but
like...
But that's like very end.
That's the finish.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I kind of feel like I could watch that again.
But the mystery within the mystery is who is the personality in his head that's killing all of the other ones.
Oh, you don't know? They don't tell
They
you?
think... So it's like a psychiatrist in with a judge, and he's the one. Like it's basically
I'm getting kind of scared.
They're like doing an exorcism essentially, right?
Okay.
And that's why all these people. So they kill off Amanda Peet, they kill off Cusack is like the last one. You think like we're done, and then he gets to stay, and they're like transporting him, but it turns out it was like the little boy character the whole time.
God,
and
I'm
then
so scared right now.
And then he kills the like officers that are like driving him away. Like that's the end of the movie, is that he's still evil, and those people died because they fucked up. And
that's sad. Yeah. I'm not gonna watch it.
Well, you already have.
Again.
You purchased a ticket and you viewed the entire movie start to finish. So
yeah. I don't think I want to watch it again.
Same vein. Again, these are movies that I would say do not show our taste, but rather how many movies we saw, because we saw that, and then we
just saw everything.
Open Water.
Every movie that ever came out.
Which is about people getting left behind on a scuba trip, and then they just float in the water for a couple hours. But they do the horror trick at the very beginning where they really grab your attention, and they have the woman take a shower. You're like, nice. Naked women. I'm in. And then they just go jump in the ocean and get stuck, and then eventually she gets scared because he's like, ooh, something got my foot. And then he just gets eaten by sharks. And I think they both did. Oh. The real story was, I think they got left behind for like all of 20 minutes and they came back and got him. But
they didn't even die?
No.
Oh.
You just don't sound so relieved.
Hardly seems movie worthy. But, okay.
Do you have anything else to say about the movies of 2003? American Wedding also came out.
Well, until you said that. Superb. What a fantastic list.
Yeah.
This is a wonderful list. I'm excited about this list. If I had to pick my year off of movies, it would be 2003. What's so funny is
I picked out all movies because they were ones that we liked. Everything else in 2003 was hot garbage.
Oh, you picked the list of the movies you knew I would like.
Yes.
That hardly seems fair.
Well, it's my podcast, and I wanted it to go well. Okay. So I could have picked a bunch of movies.
I love all these movies you picked. How did you know? How did you know?
How did I know? Okay. Should we move on? Mm-hmm. Let's move on to music of 2003.
Okay. What do you got?
What do you got?
I got nothing. I didn't know I was supposed to prepare something.
My song of 2003 for sure, and everybody's, was In the Club by 50 Cents.
Mm-hmm. By who?
50 Cents.
Oh.
What do you call him?
In the Club. In the Club, getting
tipsy.
In the Club,
yeah. This was, so I'm going to blend music because into our stories a little bit, if you don't mind. Because 2003, I have such one, and I don't think that this is a female thing. This is a very male thing, and you can confirm or deny it. Have you ever once in your life been playing like a good song, like a killer song, like mass appeal pop song kind of situation, and been playing it loud and had your windows down and just felt like this is good. This is good stuff. This feels right. No.
Like you feel cool?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I think that this is a very male experience, and I don't think I'm alone. Now, I think there are a lot of people who would claim that would react the same way you just did, that are male, but I think that they would be lying, because how many girls did you know who had systems in their car, who had bass?
0.
Right. So it's a very male experience for some reason, and I don't know what it is at all.
It's like totally trying to be macho. 100%.
See, but for me, it's not trying to be macho. I don't know what it is. For me, definitely not macho. When am I trying to be macho?
Yeah, that is true. Trying to be cool though.
Always.
But a lot of times males equate cool with masculinity, right?
Certainly.
Like, so
yeah.
Most of the time you might be the outlier here. If you're trying to be cool, you're associating it with like a lot of masculinity. Mostly.
Yeah, I think it's just more of a, you're not wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think for me more than anything, it's like maybe an unexpected party will just like have us be like, oh, hey, come on over. You're listening to good music. Why don't you like hang out? Like, I don't know. Like, it was a way for me.
From a movie.
It was like a signal to be like, it was like an expression almost. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what
it's definitely learned.
This is what I'm listening to right now, and I want everybody to know. I'm talking about me. This is a very personal, very singular.
Some sort of learned behavior from some sort of.
I'm gonna go get more scotch quick.
Ah! Scared me.
I tripped. My apologies. It's a little drinky poo. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I find it very fascinating that is such a like sexual divide between the sexes. Sorry. Gender divide.
Oh,
does that feel better? I'm sorry that sex was in a word I said once.
It's just the way you said it.
How did I say it?
I just want to repeat though, 100%. That's learned.
Where did I learn it?
You did some sort of pop culture or some sort of movie or music video or TV show, or you saw something at some point in your life that equated that to being cool. You didn't just create in your mind this vision.
No, it's definitely not my own, but you also have seen those images as well, but you were not enticed to
they weren't
participate.
Created for me.
Right.
They were created for you.
Yeah. That's fine. A lot of, like we were just saying, a lot of things are very masculine and created for me that I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
So
that one gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, that was 50 Cent for me. I listened to a lot. I was listening to that album. But it's the reason why I was talking about that is because I was listening to that album on the way to the golf course.
Okay.
And it wasn't in the club. It was something deeper on that album that I kind of forgot existed. And I was sunroof open, window down. I mean, really getting it. And I was pulling into the club. And I wanted so bad to just keep it up. And just be like, yeah, that's who's showing up right now. Mm-hmm. I turned it down.
That's who's showing up in the club.
Oh, my God damn it. So good. So good. Where were you? Yeah. But yeah, 50 Cent in the club. That Get Rich or Die Tryin' was the name of the album. That album was so good. And the other, that was number one on the Billboard. Okay. Number two, problematic to be sure. But I still maintain if I can listen to Michael Jackson's music, I can listen to whatever the hell I want, and Remix to Ignition by R. Kelly is one of my favorite songs of all time. It is so good.
That's the remix
to Ignition. Hoppin' fresh out.
That's R. Kelly.
What do you mean?
That's R. Kelly?
Who? Give me one other option. You said that's not R. Kelly. In a way, like you could name one other.
I can't, but I would lose all of my money betting that is not an R. Kelly song. I literally would have no idea that that's an R. Kelly song.
Yeah, I can pinpoint.
Are you sure? You're sure. Got it. He's sure.
I can pinpoint.
It's a good song.
It is. I can pinpoint the moment that I was just like, yeah, I know for sure I don't belong in Brainerd anymore. Like, I'm done. being there. And it was my senior skip day. And we went to, I don't know, it was a farm field way out in the middle of nowhere. This like, it was weird because I feel like our conventional like field, and maybe it was just because it was in the middle of the day, you know, you're just like in one spot wherever the pallets are, and everybody parks kind of in the same spot, and you'd sit around the same circle by the fire. But I think since this was like middle of the day, there's like, you know, the whole, like there was this hill and all this stuff going on. And at the base of one of the hills, it had rained recently and there was standing water and mud. And eventually a bunch of dudes got in their trucks and started mudding. And I can remember standing and watching it, and I was just like, I don't understand why this is cool or fun or why, what? And then as I'm standing there watching this scene, my friend Andy comes and stands behind me and gets close to my ear and just starts going, like a rock. Because it did. It looked exactly like a Chevy commercial. And so anyways, segueing it back, then I was like, I'm done with this. And I went over and there was a group of girls hanging out and no men because all the men were playing in the mud. And I'm like, I'm going to go over there. And I learned how to do the back roll to ignition.
Nice.
Yes.
Very good. Would you like to?
I don't know. Is there enough room?
Oh.
I don't think there is.
Yeah, probably not.
There's not enough room.
Another time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Catch me at a wedding. You'll see it. I only have a handful of moves, so you can find it there.
I've seen it. Have. Seen it.
But yeah, that was when I knew, like, I feel like that was when I was like, I've got a few more months and then I'm good. I've had my time here. And I was right. It's probably one of the most self-assured things I've ever done in my life, is just kind of recognizing that and knowing that. Usually, I have no idea. But that was one thing.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We went to, well, so let's, I'm going to skip music for now. Rap came back. Ja Rule, Ashanti, Eminem, 50 Cent. You know,
okay, yeah.
3 Doors Down was in there with alternative music. Evanescence showed up on the scene. There you go. That's 2003 for you. Okay. 2003. Started off with a bang. We Fell Through the Ice, January 2003.
Started with a bang. Oh, man. Yeah.
That happened. That was that. We've already talked about that, so go back to episode 1 or 2.
I think it's episode 1.
Where we talk about that. Or I write things too. You can go to timtalks.net. So, Mom, head on over there because you're the only one still watching at this point in the podcast. And so that's how that year started. I graduated from high school, and I was thinking about this about 2003. I think 2003, Tim, was probably the most confident Tim that's ever existed. I think that is probably my peak of confidence, and I don't know if I'll ever get back there. It was a good mixture of a lot of things happening in my life at that time. It's top of the high school. I could drive. I had great friends. The best looking girl in the entire high school was going out with me. I had everything going for me. And I think I peaked right then.
Jeez.
In terms of my confidence.
Yikes.
I don't think, I wish I could get that confidence back.
It's very Uncle Rico of you.
Well, no, it's not, because I didn't have any glory days, right? I mean, I wasn't.
You really are trying to tell me that you peaked in high school?
No. I'm telling you my confidence peaked in high school.
Confidence peaked in high school?
I will never be as confident as I was the spring of 2003.
Maybe you'll never be as carefree.
Confident. I meant what I said. I said what I meant. Confident. I will never have that confidence again.
Yeah. It might be misplaced.
How so?
Well, maybe you will never be as blindly confident without understanding, the world and life.
Yeah, I wish I didn't understand the world and life.
Yeah, so
my life would be so much better.
Misplacing the feeling.
If I didn't understand world and life, my life would be infinitely better.
Yeah.
But I do. And that's what I mean. Like, my supreme level of confidence, like, I couldn't be touched that spring. And the
You're
thing
just
is
riding high.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had nothing to worry about, no responsibility. Didn't have to worry about school anymore. You just had a spring of fun.
Yeah.
I think you're
I don't know. Tell me, okay, because you've known me.
What were you confident about? You were just happy and carefree.
What does being confident mean? What I was confident.
I hate when you ask me to tell definitions.
I know, because you tell me that I am not a thing, but I am telling you I don't remember in that spring ever being concerned with how I looked in clothing. I don't remember caring what anybody thought about anything I did. Yeah. I don't remember being worried about anything. So I am saying that my confidence was at an all-time high. Do you want me to list all the things I worried about today and all of the ways I felt about myself today? Because it would take up the full hour if you wanted me to list them off one by one. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And even today, as I was looking back through old pictures, I found a thing from 7th grade. We had to fill out these. They were for our graduation, but it was like a questionnaire, right? It's like, what's up in your life right now? Like, and it was weird questions like, who's the best dressed girl?
Yeah, I remember those.
Asking a 12-year-old boy
yeah, so weird.
So, do you know what my plan for summer was? At the end of 7th grade, it said, what would you like to accomplish this summer? Do you know what mine was? Lose weight.
7th grade?
So this is my point. That's not to make you bummed out. I'm the same self-conscious mess I've always been. That's my point. But in 2003, the spring of 2003, when you're a senior in high school, right? Everything is there. Everybody's telling you about your future is going to be great. Everything's, nothing but, like, even my advisor from high school, I read it was like, I don't know if it was it must have been a transcript, but it had like my AP scores and some other stuff on it. And she wrote a note like, I have no doubt that Tim is going to go do great things. And, everybody's telling you shit like that. Yeah. So you start to believe it.
That's wonderful.
And you're on the top of the heap in town as far as you're concerned, right? Especially in Brainerd, you got to park in the senior lot instead of down in the pit. All of these things
some status.
are just better. And like I said, I was dating you. I mean, I don't know what else could have happened to make my confidence any higher. Now, that being said, my confidence at its all-time highest is probably at a low for a lot of normal people. But that was a very good spring and summer for me.
Was this also the spring when we would share a Burger King cheeseburger meal?
Yes, because
every day for lunch.
I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, back then, as a senior, I think I went to school for like 2 hours, and then I had a 2-hour lunch break. I used to go home.
Then choir.
Yeah, and then choir. And then 2 other classes that were like, one of them was like multimedia, and I just basically did this. I filmed videos and edited them on my dad's old iMac with iMovie, and I got an A- in that class. It was great. Like, I'm telling you, my confidence was so high. Like, I just want to get that back. Yeah. But yes, we would go out because I had such a long open period for lunch that I could bring you, and we would go to Burger King and we get a number 2 cheeseburger meal.
Just ketchup.
Just ketchup. We'd get it supersized and we'd share the drink, which I think was a round robin of different things. Yeah. Share the drink and the fries. We'd get 2 to-go things of the Burger King ranch.
Oh my God, I
which
love
was
the Burger King ranch. Why was their ranch so good in 2003?
It was the best.
It's not the same.
It's not. No.
It's not.
It'll never be the
so
same.
good.
It probably had cyanide in it, but it was so
Tasted good.
Yeah, and we would go and then we'd just sit in my car and we would just. What did we talk about? What did we do?
I don't know. I'm just saying we're carefree.
Yeah.
Just carefree, happy kids.
God damn. And yeah, so that was a great spring for me, and that went into summer. We had a great summer. I delivered beer for Miller. That was my first job as a human, because I wasn't allowed to get one. Just so we're clear, I asked to get a job when I was 15. I wasn't allowed. I had to wait. That was my dad's thing.
That was a wonderful gift.
He wanted me to be a kid. And
look at what it did for you. The confidence.
Yeah, that spring.
Wonderful spring.
Yeah.
What if you would have been working?
When I started working.
You're very fortunate.
When I started working at Miller, whenever kids get accepted mid-spring. So I'd only been accepted to the U for a couple months when I started working at Miller. And the warehouse manager was like, so what are you doing in the fall then? I was like, oh, I'm going to to the University of Minnesota, which in my mind was not like a flex, right? It's a state school, like that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
He just goes, Jesus Christ, you're going to be a fucking rocket scientist or what? It's like, No, that's not the plan.
Yeah. That was nice.
Yeah.
He sounds like a nice man.
Yeah. After delivering beer, I landed myself in college. I wrote a piece about that a long time ago. I should probably look at that and rework it. But my first day of college was one of the worst days of my life. The confidence I had in May had all left me by the second week of June when I was at orientation.
Yeah.
When I got dropped off at college, there was a Gopher game that same weekend. Mm-hmm. That same day. And I was good. Went to the game, saw my parents again after they dropped me off, and had a day, just yawn. And then they left, and I was walking back from the Metrodome. That's where the Gophers played when I was a freshman.
Yeah, I remember
to
this.
campus.
Yeah.
And I called you
did
midway
call me.
Across the Washington Ave Bridge.
You were very sad.
I was so unbelievably lonely so quickly. I had nothing. I didn't know anybody. My roommates hadn't moved in yet. So.
Well, you also got screwed because your roommates were sophomores.
Yeah, that's true.
So what could be worse for a freshman moving in than to have sophomore roommates?
Yeah.
It's the worst case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember talking to you, and I was just... Do you remember that conversation at all?
I don't remember, the details. I just remember you were very sad and you were very lonely.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to cheer you up, and there was nothing I could do because
right, yeah, what do you do?
Hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went home, and I remember I had this Dell laptop that I had gotten as a graduation gift, I think. And it was so cool, but it was so big. Remember how big laptops used to be? I mean, it was dense.
I'm pretty sure they're still somewhere in this house.
And I remember after we got off the phone, I remember once I got across the bridge and I was walking through campus, and I'm like, oh, I'll just get to work.
On what?
Right. When I got back to my dorm room, I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, class hasn't started. I don't have anything to do. And there wasn't streaming. I had to wait for my roommates to be there to get the cable turned on. There were all the things, right? I had nothing. And so I was just sitting in my room on my computer, just kind of surfing the internet. And my phone rang, and it was a random number, but it was a local to our hometown number. So I was like, well,
218.
218, what it do? Which is all of northern Minnesota. And right? It's like all the way to Canada.
I don't know.
It is. And I picked it up, and it was I mean, I wouldn't even call him a friend at the time. Mm-hmm. He was a guy who was older than me that went to our high school. I knew his little sister, who is your age, that you're friends with, but I was not friends with this guy.
He was friends with my brother.
Yeah, but how he got my number, I still don't think to this day I know.
Oh, yeah.
And he called me, and it was so fast. He was like, hey, we've got 7 barrels at 11th and Uni. Do you want to come? Which at that time, to me, was a foreign language.
Mm-hmm. What are these words?
I didn't know what any of it meant. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm in. And I found my way there to a huge house party. It was in a backyard. It got broken up by a helicopter with a spotlight. But I met all of my friends through college at that party.
Yeah.
And I do my best not to say names on this podcast, but I will say Ryan Bender saved my entire college life. Aww. And every friend and memory I have, I could cry right now, is because of him. I owe him a lot. He's very important to me. Aww. And I feel bad that I don't see him a lot more, but like I spent my entire first semester at his house.
Yeah.
So much so that at one point he invited me to come to a party, picked me up at the dorm, brought me to an ATM, which was confusing. And he said, do you have money? And I said, I think so. And I said, how much do I need? And he said, enough for a keg. And I said, what's that cost? And he said, $80, and we'd like to get 2. And I was like, I have great news. I have $200. And he was like, great, we'll get 2 barrels then. And so I gave him all of my money, and he bought 2 kegs, and we went back to his house, and he tapped the first keg, and it was like, 8 o'clock, nobody was there, and I started drinking, and like a couple of his roommates came down a couple of them I knew, a couple of I didn't at the time, and we were just hanging out, and then Ryan hadn't come back. And then he came back and he had a backpack on, looking ready to leave. And I'm like, hey, where are you going? Because I was not friends with anybody else in that house. I knew a couple of the guys, but they weren't there. And he was like, oh, I have an OChem test tomorrow. I got to go study. This is your party. And I was like, it's a now? And he just handed me a stack of Solo cups and said, have fun. Don't worry. You'll make your money back. He was right about that. And I had a great time. So much so that the next week, when I was walking through the mall on campus, a random girl walked by me and just goes, hey, Bender, that was a great party last weekend. Guess I'm Bender now. And so that was the way it started. And then, I met all the guys I lived with the next year. Were at that party and then let me, hang out as the younger guy. And
yeah, because you were the only one out of that whole crew that was still in the dorms.
Yeah. And I would rollerblade everywhere, and everybody would make fun of me for rollerblading drunk all over the place. And so that was 2003 for me. And we have been playing this game where we are ranking the years in terms of kind of our favorites, and that includes pop culture, music, movies, and our memories. And I am surprised to say I think 2003 wins it for me. I think 2003 is now the front runner over 1999. Let me just
ask you this.
Yeah, please.
After your party, would you say your confidence was as high as the spring?
No.
Damn it. Thought I was going to catch you there.
No.
You were right high. All right. I'm going to actually agree with you. 2003 was a good year.
Oh.
You know, I didn't think I would like it because, you know, you
I
went
left
to
you?
college.
Yeah.
But it was a good year. I think I'm a big fan. I'm going to agree with you on this. 2003 for the win.
Beats, you had 2001 previously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, 2003.
2003.
Number one with a bullet. Could 2004 take its spot?
You'll have to
Reunited
stay-
and it feels so good, 2004.
Oh, cute.
So we'll see what 2004 brings next week on The Kids Are in Bed. Should we go check on the kids?
Let's go check on the kids.
See you next week.